Hi everyone, welcome. I am Peach from Green River College. Today I'll have another special guest with me and we will be talking about Green River College. So give me a second while I try to invite him in. Hi everyone. Um, okay.
Hey,
Hi Ash, good morning.
good morning. Are you able to hear me? Right?
Yeah. Can you
Great.
hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Okay. Hi everyone, good morning. We are students from Green River College, and if you're interested to hear what Ash has to say, stay tuned. And yeah, let us know if you can hear us well in the comment. And then we should get started in about, let's say, give them a minute, right, Ash?
Yep, sure, no problem at all. I have no issue with that. It's bright and early for everyone, so
Yeah, it's only 9, not sunny, so
yeah, it's 9 here, but not sure for everyone else that's around the world probably
yeah.
watching this.
Okay, we have a lot of people in.
That's good.
Hi. Okay, why don't we start with like a quick introduction of who we are a little bit, and then we can get into the interview. So do you want to start first?
Okay. Okay, let's start with the simple thing. So, hi everyone. My name is Shah Ashraf Khan, or people call me Ash. I've kind of been called Ash for a while now, so it's stuck. I am originally from Singapore. Um, I've been a student in Green River College for about just over 2 years now. I think I landed in 2019 on the 26th of December, and I'm still here. So that's good. So like I said previously, I attend Green River College in Auburn, Washington. Um, and yeah, it's kind of the brief rundown of who I am.
Thank you. So I am Peach. I am also a student from Green River. Well, actually, I already graduated. Currently, I am working for them in the marketing department. So it's a really good opportunity for us to come here on the Study in the USA Live to introduce you some more about our college as well and what we do as well as students and graduates. Okay, so today the main person here is Ash. So Ash, so you are a very important person for our college. So do you mind telling us who you are and what you do for our college?
Yep, sure. So I'm basically not basically, but I am the student body president.
Mhm.
But I'm also a peer educator for Green River College's um, Violence Prevention Center. I'm also
Mhm.
a peer mentor and you could say a peer counselor for Green River College's counseling center. So
Mhm.
I'm at the health counseling center, but I'm also part of a different committees and different councils as well. I'm also a student legislator for Washington State, which is also a really big thing that been able to give me amazing opportunities as well. So yeah.
So you have a lot on your plate. So when you were a student, how did you balance your time working and studying at the same time?
I think the working and studying portion of it was a little bit tricky at first.
Mhm.
Trying to find a good balance because I'm a STEM major. So
Mhm.
STEM major meaning I'm a bio major, um, and it's super hectic to have to deal with not only student related stuff, but at the end of the day, people kind of don't realize this, but I have to pop in for meetings, just sometimes as much as faculty members, sometimes just maybe even more meetings than some faculty members. So I think
Yeah.
balancing and finding that balance was extremely difficult. But I think I genuinely enjoyed the work. So enjoying the work was kind of 80% of the battle done, really. The
Mhm.
ability to kind of just go to meetings and be happy about it was what made everything really easy, but also the ability to kind of tell my superiors like, hey, look, I can't show up for this meeting because I've got a lot of homework to do, or hey, I can't do this because
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lecture to go to or whatnot. And them being understanding about it was a
Mm-hmm.
huge, huge, huge factor as well, because I was able to kind of figure my way through things and meet my professors and get all the help I needed because I had the resources around me.
Yeah, that's excellent. Knowing that you are a student while being a very important figure at our college. It's pretty impressive that you can balance those two pretty well. Okay, so I have a one question for you. So as an international student, I'm pretty sure other international students are curious. Why did you decide to come to the United States to further your education?
It was actually it was a multitude of reasons, really, but I think for me it was the fact that like a couple of the main big reasons was the fact that like I was never a straight A student back home by any means. I've always kind of struggled through class, through school and whatnot. Um,
Hmm.
sorry, with kind of like just grades and whatnot. I was always really big on like external things. So external things meaning like I was always big into sports. I was big into like arts and stuff like that. And I could never find a good balance between arts and kind of like generic classes, you know. And
Hmm.
my brother was actually in the US at that time, and he was a student in Green River, and he was able to transfer into University of Washington, Tacoma. Um, and he was a STEM major as well. So I think for me, deciding where to go was extremely difficult. You know, I had options of studying in Australia, or the UK, or the US, and realizing I was like, you know, I want to get closer to my brother, but
Hmm.
that wasn't really a good reason. You know, I think then would come more like as more time passed by, I was slowly realizing that staying in the US might be the best option simply because of the way the education system here works, where it's a
Hmm.
it's a balance between
Hmm.
external activities, but also academics. So that's one thing that if you're really good at external stuff and you really enjoy doing external stuff aside from academics, then the United States is the best place to go for you, because they don't only weigh down on your
Hmm.
academics, but they also look at your external stuff. So uh, um, it's your contribution to society, your contributing to the community. It's all a major, major big thing. So that allows you to be a very, very holistic person, because you're not only looking at being a good person with books and classes, but you also want to be a good person outside of the class, which is what Gunnar was extremely, extremely amazing at, which is creating people uh, who have a holistic education, which is what we've been striving for and what we've been going for.
I agree with all the extracurriculars that our college offers. A lot of students have a lot of opportunity to, find something else to do besides just focusing on class, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to our college,
Yeah.
so what are some tips that you have for students who want to come here?
Great. Okay. So I've got kind of three tips for everyone that's coming in or thinking of coming in Grenoble. But as an international student, I think the first major thing um, for any international student or any student in general really is to get involved on campus. Um, there's so many ways to kind of do it. Club going like registering for clubs, signing up for clubs, volunteering on campus, finding jobs on campus. All that is extremely, extremely useful when it comes to an international student, especially because you're able to kind of um, not only meet new people, but it allows you to open different passageways to finding new opportunities. Like for myself, I started um, my second quarter in Green River. I was able to get the Chief Justice role. What Chief
Mm-hmm.
Justice is basically I work for the student government, but I kind of handle all the behavioral issues or a lot of the club affairs that that our organization or our school's student government would have to handle, or even school wise. So it was a big thing for me back then, and a lot of people were kind of shocked. You know, even my professors were like, "Wait, your second quarter in Green River and you got this role. And I never really realized how big the role was till
Mm-hmm.
I had a multitude of people telling me like, hey, that's a big role. Like that's really, really big. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, oh crap. Like I'm here. So I think it kept going on and on and on and on. And as I got more and more involved with different faculty members or different committees, um, I was able to kind of meet a lot more people, and that
Mm-hmm.
kind of opened up a lot of things for me. Like I was able to see a lot of things from a different perspective, and I was able to meet a lot of people and get a lot of volunteering opportunities and whatnot. I think it was extremely amazing to see how much um, different connections can help you out. Really, like I'm at the point where I'm even doing state legislating stuff. So what that means is that I'm actually going out to different. I'm meeting state board members, so I'm meeting people from Washington State to talk about um, basically to talk about student problems or student issues, and that gets brought up to um, like kind of federal legislation stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's the opportunity that comes out of it is extremely amazing, because it's not only something that can be done, it can be put in your resume, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
something that you need to realize is going to help you long term in terms of character building, but also giving you that holistic environment to study in. Because for you to get a holistic education, you need a holistic environment, and meeting new people and getting different inputs will allow for that.
Mm-hmm. So, besides that, you also mentioned about you expanding your network while being involved in so many things at our college.
Yeah.
So,
So
can you expand a little bit more on networking? Why do you think it's advantageous for our students who are gonna come here?
yep, sure. So I think that, so like I said, a few points I was talking about too. So the second point was kind of the networking and asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of ties me back to my first point as well. So now, as an international student, you're coming to a whole new environment. You don't know anyone, and that can be extremely daunting, extremely scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what made education for me in the US kind of like the cherry on top was the ability to network. The
Mm-hmm.
ability to network opens up many doors for international students that you may not have thought was even there in the first place. Like for me, um, would I ever have thought that I would be able to do state legislating stuff? But genuinely, no. Like if you asked me 2 years ago, like, hey Ash, do you think you'll be sitting down with Washington state legislators discussing about mental health or student affordability or textbook affordability? I would have said no, not in a million years. But
Mm-hmm.
being Chief Justice and moving up to the student body president, um, that process within 2 years, I was able to meet many people. Like I've been able to meet student leaders from 25 different colleges and technical colleges, even universities as well. I've been able to meet legislating interns, legislators who I've built relationships with. I've been able to meet people who work at big companies like Amazon, Google, um, like even like people in charge of banks too. And I would have never thought I would be able to do that, even internationally too. Like I've been offered jobs outside of the US, in Germany, in Belgium, and that's simply from networking, to talking to people, meeting people. Like never be afraid to meet people, never be afraid
Mm-hmm.
to stumble on your words when you meet them, or never be fearful, because not a lot of people, what they want to see is the eagerness from someone to talk to them, to meet them, to learn from them, or be guided from them, or even be mentored. So I think I've slowly realized that meeting new people has allowed me to have a lot more opportunities than I would expect, because
Mm-hmm.
I travel halfway around the world to have different opportunities than what I would have back home. And the opportunities I've got in the US have shown thoroughly to me that if a little bit of effort and meet new people, it would be super easy to not only obtain a job, but also would be really, really easy to kind of keep evolving as a person and growing your character and being a genuinely good person over the long run.
Mhm.
And really, like I said, helping your friends and whatnot. I think aside from that too, the main thing, some students tend to forget, and from students I've talked to, and I've gotten feedback about this as well from other students, uh, I think was really students not taking advantage of the school's resources that they have around them,
Mhm.
like the resources around them that are readily available, tend to be overlooked really. And like for Green River College, we have ample amounts of resources the school has. We have counseling centers, we have violence prevention centers, we have a benefits hub that kind of helps you with any food issues you might have, even if it's problems paying for rent or utilities, all this stuff. We have resources for that in our school to help out. And I think a lot of times with international students, um, before you come to the US or when you're in the US, you always hear this one phrase that I extremely hate is, if you come to the US, you're alone, no one's going to help you. Like the US is not there to help you. Or like the school's not there to help you. They're just there to take your money. And I think that's a big, 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 big misconception
Mhm.
when it comes to school. Like um, for me, when I was in Green River College earlier on, like early last year, no, sorry, not early last year, around like 2020. It was peak COVID. I was struggling deeply with um, a lot of emotional stress and mental stress because, like I said, I was Chief Justice. I had classes
Mhm.
coming in, and I was taking 4 classes, which is about 20 credits, with all my Chief Justice role and external stuff, and it all really piled in really quickly because I was losing friends who were flying back home. So
Mhm.
it's extremely stressful, but and at that point I still was learning about the different resources the school had, and I had I think the changing factor for me was the fact that my professor was the nicest human being. um, I think it was I think she just realized that um, I think she's here, but Erica, chemistry professor, if you're here, thank you so much. But she was the one who kind of realized I was a little bit off with my
Mhm.
behavior and whatnot. I was a bit more quiet. So she actually sent me an email. Was like, hey, if you need any assistance, let me know. We can get you some assistance. And I kind of took the gamble and I went for it. I emailed her back. I was like, yes, I do need some help. And I think that's the first big step, is realizing that you do need help.
Mhm.
And for any international student, if someone asks if you need help, never shy away from it. Never say you don't need help. Um, just be like, hey, you know what? You can help me with this small thing. It's always better to learn from someone, even if it's something small, than never learn at all. And this professor of mine was able to kind of um, tie me up with the school's um, counseling center that I was able to
Mhm.
kind of go to and get help and seek assistance from the counselors there and grow as well as a human being and meet new people and meet different faculty members. And I think that was kind of um, what made everything kind of smooth sailing for me, because I was able to kind of think about it like, hey, you know what? The school has this resource, and by going through that, like struggling with, like I've always struggled with depression, anxiety, from even from
Mhm.
Singapore through when I was still in the US too. So getting the assistance was an eye opener for me. Um, I didn't think about it much, but that was extremely, extremely useful for me, and I was able to go for that and get the help I needed and be a better human being and be a better person. But I was able to also go out and tell my friends about the resources the school had that was so readily available, that's so overlooked most of the
Mhm.
time because of a simple thing that people think, hey, like um, the US or your school's not there for you, or they're just there to take your money. That's like extremely, extremely big misconception.
Mhm.
The schools aren't there to take your money. The schools are there to help you build character, help you grow as a person. And there's all these resources so readily available for you. Like Green River College is extremely, extremely amazing with resources. We have I think we have about 30 different resources for you readily available for students to use, which is extremely mind-boggling if you think about it. And not only do we have resources on campus, but we also have resources off campus that the school very frequently links students to. Like, for example, we have food banks off campus that if you do need assistance from anyone really when it comes to food, like say you're having some difficulty purchasing food, um, it's not that difficult to kind of just pop by the school like, hey, I'm having a lot of difficulty buying groceries. Is there anything I can do? We have a food pantry that you can readily walk into and get food from. But if that's not really something sufficient for you, the school will be more than happy to contact, like for example, here's like Auburn's food bank, which can deliver the food to you, to your doorstep, every Monday. And that's extremely amazing because you have students who are struggling day to day with just eating food. I know when I first became president, I was talking to a student who told me that all he ate for the past month was top ramen, which is instant ramen, which is extremely difficult because like I was in his position as well. It was actually during pre-COVID, it was okay, but once COVID hit, things got really, really bad. So I felt for him as well. And we were able to kind of discuss our next step to the point where now he's very contented with what he's able to get. He's able to get subsidized for his school. Sorry, not school, sorry. So his books. So his books are completely free for classes. The programs he uses for classes are completely free as well. And he's able to get food from the food bank, which really, really helps with the cost of food because, you know, as an international student, every small thing adds up very quickly. Like that $5, that $2 bar of chocolate, it's gonna add up at the end of the day, or even that bottle of mineral water. It all adds up because you got bills and whatnot to pay. So there's always assistance. You just need to ask. Like never be afraid to ask. Especially in the US. In the US, I think the environment here is very different. So people love to help, especially faculty members or people working on campus. They love to help others. So the initiative, the first step to go out there and ask is always going to be the most difficult. But once you're able to do that, it's, oh gosh, I can't emphasize how amazing it is to have the resources so readily available with you. But the main factor is, like, if you put all of this aside, would be if you come to the US, network with people who you don't usually network with, or talk to people you don't usually talk to. Like if you're coming, let's say you're coming from, in my case, like Singapore, like I would meet other people I'll be more willing to meet other people who aren't Singaporean, simply because I know how a Singaporean thinks, talks, does things, and I want to expand. I want to learn from other people. So meeting as many people as you can who are outside of your country is such a big thing. It's such an important thing that people tend to overlook, because people are like, oh, you know what? Like I'm gonna hang out with people from my country because I'm more comfortable with that. Like I don't have to alter anything. I don't have to do anything. But it's something that it's so small, but it's so important, and people tend to overlook it. Is simply that you need to meet new people. You have to make friends with people from other countries, other backgrounds, other ethnicities, and it's so important. Like for me, I live in a house with 8 people, and I live in a house with Japanese people, with Indonesian people, with Malaysian people, with a Ukrainian guy, and it's so amazing how much new things I learn every single day. Like when it comes to food, from anything from food all the way to learning process, like how they study from day to day, or how they talk to their parents, how they talk to their friends, how they view nature, how they view the sun, how appreciative they are. Like it's so amazing. Like my Japanese roommate, he's taught me so much when it comes to you know, being thankful for the things around you. Like I know it was super shocking for me because I had gone for I went for a music festival with him, and he had used the portable toilets, and when he came out, he bowed and said thank you to the portable toilet. And I never understood why. I was like, wait, why did you just do that? And he goes, oh, because I'm appreciative of something that was made for me to make my life convenient. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's something that I've never thought about. Never would I have had come to contact with anyone like that. And
Mhm.
that has been able to kind of push me to be a more grateful person in general. Um, but there's so much things you can learn from other people from other countries, and obviously the language as well. Like I've learned so many different languages now. Like I used to know a little bit of Bahasa Indonesia, but now I know a
Mhm.
lot more because they've been teaching me a lot more. And now I speak fluent Chinese as well, which has been nice because my Malaysian friends have been teaching me. And it's been extremely amazing when it comes to um, even just food as well. But people need to realize that making friends with people outside of your comfort zone, let it be domestic students or other international students from other countries, it is extremely, extremely, extremely important. I cannot emphasize this enough. It is so important, um, with to meet other people from other countries and other ethnicities and other backgrounds. That's part of evolution, and it's part of being a better person and being a person that's able to grow not only in um, college but also in university, because you need to realize that there is different transition from college to university, and that's a whole different environment. People are more
Mhm.
open, people like to talk to you, people are evolution, people are slightly older. And then when you progress from university to a working life, there's that progression because you're meeting even more people that need to understand that you come from a different background, because when you start
Mhm.
working, I have a friend who works in a hospital right now, and he is the only person in his whole building that isn't from America. And he used to never kind of hang out with anybody other than domestic students. So that was really, really good for him. But when he meets patients who are immigrants or whatnot, it gets very tricky because the relating to them gets a bit harder. But we've also had many success stories, of people meeting other people and slowly moving forward and being able to talk. Like I've been able to meet so many different people from different backgrounds, which is extremely amazing. Like I've been able to meet different presidents, vice presidents of different schools, um, even state legislators who are like telling me constantly, like, "Oh my God, you like why didn't I not have done this when I was a student like you?" Or like it's extremely amazing. Like especially when I'm telling them about Singapore, I'm telling them about Asia. They're like, "Wow, I didn't think about that," and whatnot. And you're talking about people who actively meet global citizens around the world. So it's extremely amazing, and people need to look at it from multitude of angles and different angles, because the slightest things make the biggest change.
Mhm.
And things like this, like mixing around with people might not be a big thing, but you have so many opportunities to do that. You have in your classes, you can meet new people because you're in groups. Like when you're put into groups, that's the best time to make friends, because it's not difficult to just ask them, hey, what's your Instagram, like, let's connect, let's talk, and just finding out what kind of person they are, and what they can teach you and what you can teach them. It's all about the learning process. It's all about picking up new things and growing as a person. I can't
Mhm.
emphasize how important that is. I am not the same person I used to be many years ago, simply because of the people I've met. I've been able to meet so many different people, so amazing people. Even some of my friends' parents that I've met have been able to teach me so many different things. Just only not only age wise, but also kind of what they have learned from living in this world for so long. So it's been
Mhm.
extremely amazing with that.
Yeah, so the 3 points that you mentioned were to take initiatives. If you want to go out there and meet people, more opportunities will be there opening for you, opening up to you.
Yeah.
And then take advantage of your resources at the college. For example, at Green River, we offer a lot, by a lot, like a lot, not, I think other colleges don't have as many as ours,
Yep.
because we, as a community college, we truly cares about our international students, because we don't want them to feel lonely, like you said, when they first arrive. So we have almost everything to support them. And then last one. What was your last one?
So I think my last one was to take advantage of different resources that the school
Yeah,
has.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then my next question is that if you only have one advice to give to international students who are planning to come here, what would it be? Just one.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Okay, so I think this is the next big thing. So that students tend to overlook, and it's realizing that the student voice
Mm-hmm.
is extremely, extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as in, don't ever think that because I'm an international student, my voice is not going to be heard or it's not going to be anything big. You need to realize that because you're a student, faculty members and schools want to hear from you. That's how they get better. That's how they help you. So you need to go out there. You need to remember that talking to them is extremely important. Like for me,
Mm-hmm.
being president isn't just all about saying, you know what, everything's like fancy dandy, everything's okay. Or when I meet our school's board of trustees or our school's president or our school's vice president, like I never sugarcoat things. I'm always very blunt about things, and I'm very blunt about a lot of things because I know that we need to push, we need to get change. And students, especially international students, you need to realize that your voices aren't small.
Mm-hmm.
Your voices are equal, if not louder than what you think it is. You need to
Yeah.
understand that. That's why I said if you need help, go get help because they will help you. Because at the end of the day, you're a human being, you're a student. Schools will help you, even
Mm-hmm.
even if it's external problems. Go and get help. Just ask. If you want to get involved, you want to meet new people, just ask. You want to make friends, just ask. It's all about just asking. Never be afraid. If you want to see change, go and be the change. Go and make the change. Never be too afraid to make the change. Like I'm an international student that goes into state legislating meetings, and I'm the only international student there, which is extremely, like, it's extremely scary, but extremely, extremely eye-opening, and
Mm-hmm.
it has taught me so much through my 2 years in Green River College, and I couldn't be more happy with what I've learned. But as there's anything I've learned is genuinely that the student's voice is so important, and your voice is
Mm-hmm.
important, and people need to realize that. Never be too afraid
Yeah.
to ask. It's never like home. Like I know back home, a lot of times I've heard from students who go like, "Oh my God, like um, I'm so scared because back home I can't voice my opinions. If not, I get put on probation, I get expelled, I get put on suspension. Like the school doesn't want to listen to
Mm-hmm.
me." And it's not the same in the US. It's not the same. Schools want to hear from you. Like I've got calls from
Mm-hmm.
schools out of state asking me, "Hey, we read about this that you've done for your school. Can you please tell us more about it so that our school can implement it as well?" It's so weird, you know. It's so strange for me. It's having schools from across the country call me, a student from Singapore who came
Mm-hmm.
here with no clue in mind what is going on, about how they can improve as a school, is so strange but so amazing at the same time. Students need to realize that there's so many opportunities, there's so many ways to advance yourself and be a holistic person and grow as a person, not only academically but character-wise as well, and be such a amazing human being. Because that's what we want,
I
society to improve
mm-hmm.
and grow.
Yeah. So, for example, take Green River as an example. Our community college is not perfect, not anywhere close to perfect. So, it is there to support the students. So, what the students think or feel that needs to be changed, we encourage students to do so because we want them to feel like we cared about them, that they're welcome in our college. So if there are changes that need to be made, we can always, negotiate with the students, have the student voice their opinion, and we will work with them alongside together to improve our college. Okay, and last question. So I know we're both from Green River College, but from your own opinion, Would you recommend for international students to apply to our college, and why?
Yes. So if you asked me this many years ago, I would be, I would have had kind of no way to tell people this, but I think for Green River, as time has gone by, I've been able to work behind the scenes with faculty
Mm-hmm.
members. So I can safely say this, that Green River is amazing when it comes to um, helping students and helping people grow. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said previously, the resources the school has, but also the eagerness to help students is a really big thing. Like Green River College, I think we are one of the only colleges, I think, that has the 2+2, which means you spend 2 years in Green River to get your associates, and then you transfer out to a university of your choice. So, like for me, I'm doing 2 years in Green River College, and then I'm looking at transferring to a multitude of different schools. And for Green River, what people don't realize this as well is that Green River works with so many different universities is absolutely mind-boggling. Like a lot of times when you do apply to universities or like you talk to universities, you tell them like, "Oh, I'm from Green River College." They're like, "Oh yeah, Green River College." You're like, "Wait, you've heard of us?" And they're like, "Yeah, like we've worked with them multiple times." So, and that allows you for so much opportunity to to get in there. Like it's because they have all your profiles, so you know that the classes that you're being told to take from your advisor, it's going to be completely transferable. That's such an important thing. Transferable classes for international students. Like you don't want to waste time, you don't want to waste money because you know money is time, time is money. But Green River College is so amazing when it comes to that. Like the advisors that Green River College has is so good. Like I've met so many advisors in my life, and my current advisor. If any of you ever go to Green River College, it's Andrew Turgeon. He is the man, the myth, the legend. He is so amazing. He's able to kind of figure things out for everyone. Even for myself, like you know, I wouldn't have had known that I need to do all this, and I wouldn't have grown to understand that I wanted to do a multitude of things. Like for me, when I first came to the US, I was like, I want to be a doctor, just a general practitioner. But he was able. He made me realize like, hey, you know what? You should try looking at biological infrastructure. And he actually took my information and all the classes I took and spoke to a bunch of different people. And he looked at me and I had a conversation with him. He's like, maybe, you know, with all the work you've done for schools policies and looking at policies, I think you enjoy public health or global health. And I'm like, wait, yeah, that might be something I'm actually enjoying it. And I read about it and he taught me about it and he sent me emails, pamphlets, everything you can think of. So, and I was able to like, oh my goodness, like this is might be something I'm genuinely interested in. So the advisors in Green River are amazing. The resources we have in Green River are amazing. Like even the professors as well. Professors have been so amazing when it comes to helping out students. Like if I had not known my professor at that time, Erica, I would have had no way of knowing that the school had a counseling center. And I was so glad that she was able to kind of get that assistance for me when I didn't know how to go out there and talk to people because I was so afraid and I was so jumpy about meeting people, and she was able to kind of connect me and be the middle person, you know. And it's been so amazing. Like even my superiors who I work with all the time always tell me like, hey, I am not your boss. I am the person that works alongside you. Like we are working together, and that makes it more comfortable, and it makes you realize that you know people are there to help you grow as a person and make your learning experience not only just about academics, but like I said over and over again, to give you that holistic environment to study in. And Green River has been so amazing at doing that, and has been extremely genuinely nice to the point where even I question it. I'm like, is this real? But it is because we don't realize it, but all the resources there are to help you grow as a person. And Green River College has that insane amount of resources to help you grow. And there it is. Just use it.
Yeah, I think so. I am very thankful, especially for the advisors at our college. For example, I'm a business major. I have a designated advisor just for me.
Yeah.
So if I have any concerns, I can just go to them and they will come up with all these amazing um, solutions to my concerns, you know? So
Yes,
for
that's so
students who
true.
are, yeah. So for students who are planning to come to our Green River, you don't have to worry about your next step because there will always be someone supporting you from behind, whether it's the advisor, your professor, or just the whole faculty, the Green River family, you know, in general. They're always there to support you.
Yeah, that's
So,
I think that's
mhm.
one thing as well. If, like, I think like I've had a lot of students I've talked to that, like I have a housemate of mine who came in as a business major, and now he's graduating as a performing arts major. And everyone might be like, wait, why? But it's interesting because he came in wanting to do business, but his advisor realized that, he keeps talking about performing arts and wanting to do arts, and his advisor was like, you know what, like, hey, for certain quarters, why not you take an art class? Why don't you take a performing art class? And he did that over the course of 1 year, and my housemate actually realized that, wait, I think I like performing arts, and because of that, his advisor basically helped him realize his true passion, which is to do performing arts and to be a performing arts major. And now I think he got he applied to an arts school, I think in New York, if I'm not wrong, and he got in. So it's extremely, extremely amazing. And the advisors are able to help you realize that, even if it's such a small thing, about showing some form of interest or passion or hobby in certain things. But like Peach and I, we cannot emphasize how much the advisors and the resources the school has helped us immensely with the learning process.
Yeah, I guess we pretty much covered everything already from advisors, from your tips and tricks to, you know, getting adjusted to the American life. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Let's see if we have any questions in the comments, and then we can address that.
Sure.
And then if not, we can um, end this live and continue because I know you're a busy person, so I don't want to
No,
keep you here any longer.
today is one of the few days where I don't have much things to do.
Oh, perfect timing then.
Yeah, I
Okay.
probably, like, I have like two meetings and that's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah, I don't see any questions in the comments. So
Mhm.
for students who came to our live, we're very thankful that you're here for listening to me and Ash talking about our college. And if you have any further questions, don't forget to message us at IP Green River so that we can answer your questions better. And if you're interested in our college as well, you can just message there. Okay, anyway, thank you, Ash, so much for coming here. And thank you, Study in the USA, for giving us the opportunity to come here and share about our college
Yeah.
so that other students get to know us more as well. Okay, once again, thank you everyone for joining. And this has been a really great interview. And thank
Yeah.
you, Ash, once again.
Thanks so much, everyone.
And see you. Yeah,
Hoping to see everyone in Good River College.
yeah. See you next time.
Bye,
Goodbye.
everyone.